Toward the end of World War II, in a state of agony, German propaganda threatened the world with weapons that could turn the tide of war and wipe out the enemies of the Reich. Were these threats real, and did Hitler have a weapon of retaliation? The Third Reich really wanted to create a powerful new weapon based on thermonuclear energy, and it had good scientists in this field of physics at its disposal. Few people know, but for the first time in the world it was German scientists Fritz Strassmann and Otto Hahn who in 1938 were able to split the nucleus of the uranium atom with an enormous energy output. Two isotopes of uranium were also discovered, uranium-238 and uranium-235, which was more promising in military applications with a better chain reaction. Later, the leadership of the Reich was reported on the possibility of creating nuclear weapons, but this required the construction of a nuclear reactor to enrich uranium-235. In 1939, a secret meeting on the creation of nuclear weapons was assembled. The best minds in the country were invited to it, such as Paul Hartek, one of the discoverers of tritium, Hans Geiger, the creator of the device for measuring radioactive radiation, Walter Botha, Werner Heisenberg, Kurt Dibner, and others. According to their calculations, it could take about 12 months to create a nuclear weapon. The program was called the Uranium Project, and all information about it was classified. Werner Heisenberg designed a reactor to enrich uranium using heavy water and the purest graphite. By the way, this technology is used today in the nuclear industry. But the Germans were faced with a serious problem because there was no uranium deposits in Germany. But the Germans were lucky, and after the capitulation of Belgium, June 1, 1940, German troops entered Brussels, where they found huge stores of weapons. In one of these warehouses were found 1,200 tons of uranium concentrate that had been taken from the Belgian colony of the Congo. The uranium concentrate had been loaded into wagons and taken to chemical plants in Czechoslovakia. The first research reactors were built in Leipzig and Berlin. Trial runs showed that the mass of uranium in the reactor gave more neutrons than it absorbed. Then it was decided to add more uranium and heavy water moderators to the reaction, so that a good chain reaction could take place. American intelligence soon became aware of the actions and plans of the Nazis. The Americans became aware that they were seriously behind the Germans in the nuclear field with their uranium project. In the spring of 1942, Werner Heisenberg began to ask Hitler for 120,000 workers and 30 million Reichsmarks, promising to bring him a nuclear weapon on a platter in a year. To his surprise, Heisenberg was refused. It was due to the fact that at the end of 1941 the Third Reich was defeated near Moscow, or had lost a huge amount of equipment. German factories could barely cope with the production of conventional weapons. Hitler also emphasized the development and modernization of tanks, aircraft, submarines, and FAU missiles. The creation of nuclear weapons was relegated to a secondary priority. At the end of 1943, Hitler suddenly came to his senses and gave the order to throw all his forces and capabilities into the making of nuclear weapons. But it was already late, and the train, as they say, had gone. The special services of the Allied countries did a good job in eliminating the nuclear potential of Germany. The first to be destroyed was the heavy water plant located in Norway. The Germans attempted to build a similar plant near Stuttgart, but it was bombed by British aircraft. In 1945, the city of Dresden, where the nuclear test reactors were located, was razed to the ground. In a great hurry, the Germans did conduct nuclear tests, and there were two. The first took place on the island of Rügen and the second in the Thuringian forest. Both tests ended in failure. Conclusion: almost all historians of the Second World War believe that the Third Reich had all the capabilities to build powerful nuclear weapons and use them against Allied countries. They could easily place nuclear charges on their FAU missiles and deliver them to, say, England or France. But the Reich didn't have enough power or time to complete the development, otherwise post-war Europe would have been a scorched earth. I thank you for watching. Your support is very important to me. Your comments and thumbs up motivate me to release new videos on interesting topics. Subscribe and turn on notifications. See you in the new videos.